What's going on, guys? MK Tom Brady here. In this video, I'm re-recording it for accuracy simply because one example I used with Fujin was wrong. I said the string jailed and it did not. And two, Kitana players were in such disbelief that they thought, you're going to have to re-record this and we got to see the commands because you're probably not holding forward. They just couldn't believe it. So I'm re-recording it with the commands on. So basically, in this video I'm covering some of the hitbox issues still left in general and some of the problems that they cause. So what's weird here is hitbox issues are part of fighting games. Mortal Kombat is not the first fighting game to have weird kind of hitboxes. Pretty much almost any fighting game ever has got some weird example of a character doing the deepest of deep mids, the truest of true mids, and yet there's some example of something low profiling a character so low that they go right under the move and punish you. So pretty much that's become an accepted part of fighting games. We know low profiling exists, and Mortal Kombat certainly isn't the only culprit of this. So with that being said, what I really want to do here is kind of touch on a different kind of hitbox that Mortal Kombat has, a different kind of hitbox issue in which basically MK has got a weird hitbox thing where simply by not by doing a move that low profiles, as we just covered a lot of fighting games have, simply by standing there and doing nothing but guarding, somehow makes moves go through your body as if you're not there, as if the move is not there. And it awards the other character a huge combo punish for doing nothing but guarding. And oh, well, yeah, the hitbox basically has this move go through. This is not to blow up the studio. I mean, obviously, we'd like to see these issues fixed. So I really want to touch on some of these examples here. Now, what's weird is some of these issues have been around against some of these characters for over 10 years. And yet still a lot of these issues with a lot of the same usual suspects still exist. So here we have Kitana here, and her Edinian razors is a big part of her highborn strategy. Let me tell you how the Edinian razors work. If you do a non-delay, hold forward Edinian razor, she is -9. That's no delay at all. She is always -9. It is a full combo punish. There is no way around this. And we will highlight this. So it is a full combo punish. That's no delay at all. And that's pretty much the way it is against every single character. That's no different. Now here's the way Kitana works against most of the cast. By delaying it, she can get a second and a third Edinian razor out, and these are all non-punishable, completely safe. There's no window to punish here. But there are some weird hitbox issues in which the move goes right through the character. So first we're going to cover Kung Lao here. So and we're going to, let's go over these examples here. Okay. Now we see my commands here. This is clearly the close Edinian razor. If you want to know, the non-close version would completely miss him here. So very quickly, just for posterity here, or accuracy, I'm going to record what it looks like. And I'm not holding forward at all. So they completely miss. Just in case people were wondering, how do we tell the difference? That's how. Okay, so we see here, everything looks usual here, and there's no possible window for me to punish. So everything looks usual here. He blocks the 2 hits. What's the problem? Well, crouch blocking and then stand blocking, a hit completely misses. And you're punishing the same way you would. So basically, if you do a non-delay Edinian razor, he's going to punish. If you do a slight delay Edinian razor, he's still going to punish as if you did a non-delay. And because the second razor whiffs, he's just punishing it the same way every single time. Now, you can delay it even further for an additional Edinian Razor to come out. And when that happens, now you see again, I'm crouch blocking. They all make contact. It's completely safe. But now it misses. Now, character like Kung Lao can't backdash. See, if I try to backdash, the Razor hits. If I try to punish, and I'm showing and I get hit. I'm just showing the backdash because there are some examples of characters that can backdash. So Kung Lao, what happens here is second hit misses, third hit comes out, can't punish it, or so it seems. However, he can flawless block it and launch it. So now here is a very weird mind game. If she does any type of delay Edinian Razor, so say she does a slight delay, he's going to punish. If she does no delay, he's going to punish them both simultaneously. And if she delays for a third Edinian Razor, he can still flawless block. So literally the mind game is she going to do a single one and he's waiting for, is she going to do a non-delay, and the Kung Lao player is reading that you're going to delay for all three Razors and he's going to flawless block it, but you do a single and of course no delay at all, and there is no third one, so you'll be safe because he's not going for the punish. Or he makes that read and then he flawless blocks you. And so pretty much you can try to use the delay if he's looking to punish, and you do all three and he gets punished, or you can use the non-delay if he's looking for the delay to flawless block. So it's kind of like a mix-up. The problem is, it takes a long time to kill somebody with a single Edinian Razor at a time. You could literally guess right 4 or 5 times in this scenario, and Kung Lao guesses right once, and you're losing all that life right back. So the mix-up is not in your favor, and it's really kind of crazy because the way it normally works on most characters is any type of delay Edinian Razor is completely unpunishable. But we see against Kung Lao, this is not the case. There are some characters who don't even need to up 2. Sheeva and Cetrion. They are able to just flat out backdash, whereas Kung Lao can't backdash. These characters can backdash and they can get a full combo punish. So let's go back here to Kitana. Now, I would use Cetrion, but if you use Cetrion, there's always somebody out there that's going to say, oh, her backdash is really good, etc. So I'm going to use Sheeva as the example here. So Sheeva can't even up 2 because her up 2 doesn't have the range. But if you do this to Sheeva, she's going to backdash it and kill you for it. So Sheeva's got a weird hitbox. See, they all three hit here. 1, 2, 3, no problem, right? But she ducks, and you see this right here, how it messes the hitbox up? And she just backdashes. And she can actually get a full combo punish. And I could probably do more than that. I'm just doing, she could probably come in and do a quick jab or anything at all, really. It's, so it's just, yeah, see punish right there. What's this string? I'm not even sure what the string is. Either way, she gets a full punish there. So, doesn't matter if you do, again, if you do 1 non-delay, Sheeva's going to punish you, right? If you do 2, Sheeva's again going to punish you with slight delay just by straight jabbing through it, because the second hit's going to whiff. Now, if you do a third, she obviously can't flawless block it, but she can backdash then. She can backdash the one that whiffs and then punish it. So it doesn't really matter. Sheeva, Cetrion, and Kung Lao really abuse these type of weird hitbox issues that get caused. And pretty much against every other character, this doesn't happen. I mean, if you were to go ahead and bring a character like Scorpion in here and do the exact same example, there's really no way that these normal characters can avoid it. They're pretty much going to deal with it. And this is what's so weird about this, that you have strategies that a move that is designed to work a certain way, a strategy that's designed to work a certain way, that's pretty much essential to the character. And then we have these weird situations where by doing absolutely nothing, just by straight guarding, the hitbox gods shine down upon them, and the move goes right through their body, and then it causes a lot of problems. So I'm going to record this here. Let's record. Now there's no way this does not miss at all on Scorpion. Let's hold on. And they're all making contact with it. Even if I try to do what I did with Kung Lao, they all make contact. So here, this is pretty much how it works on every character. There's no window to punish you. It doesn't matter if I do 1 or 2 or 3, or however many I do, none of these are whiffing. So this is pretty much how it works on most of the cast. And yet we have these weird situations with characters where all of a sudden, whatever strategy is designed for the character is out the window simply because the move goes through their body by them doing nothing but guarding. Kano has another weird situation. Now we're going to use Scorpion again to represent the way the majority of the cast deal with this. So, Kano has a string that was buffed. I'm not sure if the first 2 hits were both high and they made the first hit a mid. Whatever they did, the first hit now jails you into the second hit. So it's a mid-high overhead string. So let's go over how this actually works. Let's record and block. Okay. Okay, so I'm completely jailed. Like, I'm releasing block here, and I'm completely jailed. So it's a mid-high. You see the second hit's high? But if I release block, I'm completely jailed. Now, obviously, if he whiffs the string, it's gonna, I'm gonna be able to, punish him. But I'm completely jailed. So even though I'm blocking it and crouch, I go to release block, and I still get hit. Now, this string is +2, and it's a really essential part of. It's a really big part of Kano's strategy. It's just an extra wrinkle in his game plan. And this string was buffed to make sure that you are jailed into it. This string was designed to be mid-high overhead, but to make sure that the opponent is jailed into the second hit. So even though it's high, it doesn't really matter. So then we have weird stuff like here's Kung Lao. Now Kung Lao, even going back as far as MK9, has always had some weird hitbox stuff. Not one of the bigger culprits, but he has had some of the okay, that doesn't hit Kung Lao kind of stuff. Like I said, not one of the biggest ones, but just one where occasionally you'll see something miss here or there. So he is, I guess, part of the usual suspects, and it's why it's so surprising to see a lot of the same usual suspects doing the same stuff 10 years later. So again, if I'm going to record the exact same string, okay. Now here, I still have to block it, right? Like I can't, go under if I block it. But if I release block, he goes right under. Okay, so this character actually has to release block. Not low profiling, and I'm just releasing block. And then we have the biggest culprit pretty much you'll ever see a lot of times in NRS games. Johnny Cage, one of the biggest usual offenders of this, and yet somehow, 10 years later, he is still one of the biggest usual offenders of this, where he doesn't even have to release block. He's just blocking and the move just goes right over him. So another situation here. He's just literally holding block. And the move was over his head while blocking. Now clearly this move was buffed to make sure that they're jailed. And yet still we have these wonky hitboxes that it's like, oh, the majority of the cast, they're going to be jailed into it. Some characters can release block. Some characters don't even have to release block to get a full combo punish. Think about what I just said. You don't even need to release the block button to get a full combo punish against a string that was buffed to make sure that just about everybody is jailed into the second hit, and that still doesn't happen. So, and let me give you an example of something that is acceptable. This is called low profiling. So Raiden against Geras here. Raiden does not have a particularly low hitbox. He's not a small character. And yet we're going to see an example where I'm able to go under a move. This is called low profiling. And if the other two examples I just gave, if you were getting around them by a situation like this, we would probably say, okay, low profiling is part of fighting games. So for example, this string here. If I try to down one, I'm going to get hit. Down four, I'm going to get hit. But down three, low profiles it. So it's not fast enough to beat the move out, but it lowers my profile to the point that I'm able to avoid the mid launcher. Again, another example is Fujin. So Fujin has a string that's all mids at the ender, and you can't get off the ground, you can't flawless block it, you can't fatal blow it, nothing. But some characters can just go right under it. And again, this is an example of low profiling. So stuff like this is a little more acceptable because low profiling is pretty much in almost every game out there. Put on block. Okay, so this is the last hits here are mid, right? Now I can't jump out of this. I can't even get off the ground. I can't flawless block it, nothing. But I can do this. Go right under it and full combo punish him. I can't do it with down one. I can't do it with down four. I can't flawless block. I can't fatal blow. I can't jump. Can't poke. But I can do that. And that is an example of low profiling. So a big difference between, okay, this is a hitbox issue, and this is kind of like low profiling, which is pretty standard. And a lot of fighting games, we see this. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up our favorite, our oldie but goodie, good old Creeping Ice from Sub-Zero. Now, against Kung Lao and Cetrion, as if the Cetrion matchup wasn't hard enough for someone playing Avalanche, let's just make sure she can jump out of Creeping Ice, and Kung Lao does the same thing. So basically, if you're blocking the first hit, they're able to jump right out of it, as if it's not even there. And only two characters can do this. Okay, so just jump right out of it. Right, you get a full combo. Easy peasy. If you just do one hit, he gets a full combo punish. Gets his punish there. Now characters can flawless block this move. And get it up three. Probably I'd say over half the cast can do that. That's design. It was made to do that. It was made to have a gap in it for it to be flawless blocked for over half the cast to punish it with an up three. That's by design. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you have two characters just jumping right out of it, when clearly the move was not designed that way, it completely changes the match there. Obviously, one thing that we noticed, now I could go on for literally like 2 hours of hitboxes, like literally 2 hours of nothing but hitboxes. But the thing is, the weird thing actually, other communities see things like this and they say, okay, what is this? What is this? What is this? Right? The Mortal Kombat community, we say all the time, adapt, level up. We would tell the Kitana player, you got to adapt. You got to level up. You got to make that right read. But to me, hitbox issues like this are kind of egregious, you know? I mean, I could see if we're back in 2011 and, you know, hey, we're going back to 2D for Mortal Kombat and all this stuff, you know, a lot of like, okay, you know, NetherRealm is kind of like, it's no longer Midway, they're NetherRealm now. It's their first fighting game as NetherRealm Studios. Yeah, we understand there's going to be some issues, etc. But for a decade later, a lot of the same issues to keep repeating themselves. It's just really, really, it's just like, wow, like how, you know, how does this happen? And it's a lot of the same characters that do it. You know, now, like I said, I could see if this is an indie company or a first time, you know, fighting game company, or not a fighting game company, but a first time like company going for a fighting game, making these type of mistakes. But for one as seasoned as a company who's also funded by Warner Brothers, it's not like it's an indie company, etc. They have all the resources, and still a lot of these things go unchecked. And this is not to blow up the studio, because it's not my intention. Just to say, like, look at all there, and these are only a few issues. There are tons of issues like this. So overall, I think, you know, and again, it's not like a low profile issue where, oh, the character is doing a move. Literally all they're doing is blocking. And it's like, oh, because you're blocking, moves will now go through your body. And that is kind of the weird thing about the way some of the hitboxes have always been in Mortal Kombat. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping that somehow these issues will be fixed in the future. And, you know, I'm just hoping that, you know, things get changed. So, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.